Hi guys, so we have three blind dates with a book here, which, to put it simply, is just books wrapped up, and the whole idea of it is that you don't judge a book by its cover, which I think is amazing because you're going by the description of the book rather than the cover of the book. However, the ones I bought literally don't even have a description on them, so I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. But I'm going to pick one at random today, just start reading it and just see where this journey takes me. But obviously the only problem is I may have read the books that are wrapped up. I got mine from the works for £2.50 or 3 for £6, and obviously I got 3 of them. And obviously I'm going to pick one today, but I'm really scared that I've read it before and I don't know what to do. Because if this whole video goes wrong because I've read all the books, then what am I going to do? I think the feeling of this one probably intrigues me the most right now. I don't know why, so I'm going to open it for you. I'm very, very nervous. So the book that we just opened is called Sisters Behaving Badly. I have never heard of this book. I don't think I have anyway. So obviously I haven't read it, which is a good start to this video. So it says it's just normal fiction, which obviously this is a romancy Valentine's themed video. But I knew that we wasn't going to get all romances, which is fine because it's fairly short. It does seem quite interesting, but I'm just going to find out what it's about. The main characters are in their 60s. So it's about 2 sisters in their 60s, which is crazy to me because I don't think I've ever read a book with both main characters being old. They inherit a farmhouse in France and they have like a bit of a rocky relationship. So obviously they go to this farmhouse and they sort of try and mend their relationship and stuff. One of them meets a guy there and one of them has like a horrible husband. So I think it's got like a little bit of a subplot of romance as well. I would not have picked this up if I saw it in the shop, I don't think. If I read the description, this would not have been one that I would probably go for, but I obviously am willing to give it a try. The only thing putting me off is that they are in their 60s, and I know that's really horrible, but because I won't relate to the characters, I don't know if it's going to focus too much on their age. Hopefully it doesn't. I know that's stupid, but wow, it does seem interesting. The cover definitely did intrigue me, so we will see. I'm literally on page 2 and already liking the writing style. I know it's a little bit early on to determine whether I'm going to like the book or not, but the way it's written is easy to understand, which is good. And it has some like comedic value in it, literally in the first like 2 pages. So it's looking up so far. I genuinely think I'm slaying the day away right now with my strawberry thing on. I mean, how can you literally not love this? Can you see how messy my room is? Oh, no you can't. We're not going to talk about it. Okay, but genuinely, can you see it? No. Okay, cool. I wanted to give a little update because I have actually finished this book already and it's literally been like a whole day. So I read a chapter of it last Friday and then literally just decided to read another book for another video and just didn't really pick it up again. And then today I found out that it was on Scribd, as you saw, put my audiobook on and literally just finished the whole thing in one day, which I wasn't expecting to do. I don't think I've settled on like a full-on rating yet because it wasn't like the best book in the world, but it wasn't bad either. Like it definitely had some good parts, but it just wasn't anything crazy. Like nothing was bad about it. It just wasn't a top read for me. Also, if you're looking at my nails and how they're just, yeah, just don't look at them. But as I was saying, yeah, nothing was particularly bad about the book. The British humour was great. The way that it was written was making me laugh out loud in like multiple different parts, which was really good. And I was a little bit nervous at first when I found out obviously the age of the main characters, because I was like, am I going to relate to the age? They're 60 years old. I'm going to have nothing in common. They're like divorcees and they're married. I say that, I'm literally engaged, but you know what I mean. They're at a very different stage of life than I am. So I just wasn't sure like how I was actually going to deal with that. I might just take this off. There we go. But I actually did thoroughly enjoy reading about these older, I'm not going to say old because I'm not rude, older women, because it kind of felt like I was talking to my nan in a way, or like my great nan, which sounds strange because you're reading it from someone else's point of view, but like the way that they were talking to each other, the way that they were bantering with each other, the witty British humour, it literally was like speaking to someone's British nan, and it was just so cute. There was definitely comedic parts, and obviously because they're older, it sort of seems funny. Like if a 20-year-old falls over, I'm not saying that old people falling over is funny, oh my god, but I think you know what I mean. Like if a 20-year-old just sort of fell over and like fell in a puddle, it's not that funny. But the fact that they're 60 years old just makes it funnier, which sounds horrendous when I say that out loud, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. I wouldn't say that romance is like a major subplot in this book, but there definitely was more of it towards the end of the book. The ending was very wholesome and it did wrap up quite nicely, and obviously you find out sort of why the sisters fell apart in the first place. You basically see whether or not they rekindled their relationship and stuff. But yeah, I thought for a 300-page book, for a book to get it all done in one day, it actually wasn't bad. I wouldn't rate it higher than a 3.75, I want to say, but I definitely do recommend it. And I think if you're looking for a book for your nan to read, or like an older person in your life to read, they might relate to this and they might take some positive things from it. So maybe take this into consideration. What? Maybe take this into consideration. Can't speak. Maybe take this into consideration when maybe gifting something to a loved one, because it's actually really cute. Why is it so dark? Hold on. That's better. Is it? No, it's not. Can you see me? Why is it so... I don't know why it's so dark in here, so I sincerely apologise. But it's the next day now, and obviously as you saw, I finished Sisters Behaving Badly last night. And I woke up this morning fully intending to open the next blind date with a book, getting it started, and then heading out for the day. And then I realised that I left all of the blind dates with a book. Okay. Yeah, I left all of the blind dates with a book at Riley's house. So I had none to open today. So what I'm going to do is head there now, open the next one, and then we're going to head to basketball, and then I'm going to maybe get it started, hopefully. I don't know. Hopefully it's a good one, but I just thought I'd update you that I was stupid and left them at his house. So yeah. Also, if you like what I'm wearing, this is my friend's clothing line, and it's literally just like this teddy, fleecy tracksuit, and I'm not even just saying this, he didn't ask me to say this or mention it in any of my videos, because obviously not a fashion channel, but it is literally the warmest thing I've ever worn in my life. So if you like it, I am going to leave a link to it in the description, because it's so comfortable and so cozy, and you need it. You actually do need it. But I just thought, like, I'd never actually worn it in a video before, so I thought I'd just drop it in like a little mention. But yeah, gonna head to Riley's now, see what happens. Why is it so f***ing dark? Let's go. Okay, I'm here and I've got the two next blind dates with a book. I'm not 100% sure which one I want to do. This one feels thicker, this one feels thinner. And part of me just wants to go for the thinner one, because who wants to read a long book ever? So I think I'm going to go for this one. Not that I have any inkling to what they are. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to go for this one. You guys are probably going to hate me, because I can't read that. I'm not reading that book anymore. I hate DNFing books, and I only really do it if I genuinely just hate what I'm reading. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, because I didn't even like introduce the book or anything. It's about a straight couple who move back to the town where the wife grew up in. She ends up meeting like her old best friend or something's wife, and then they end up basically having a love affair and cheating. And there is one thing you're going to know about Ella Rose Reid, and that is that she does not condone cheating in real life, in movies, in a book. I hate it. Yes, it is implied by the blurb, but it's not exactly like, you know, you have to think about it to know that it's going to be in the book or not, because it says, and then V meets Rachel, Sterling's wife, and a spark is ignited within her that she can't extinguish. And as summer turns to autumn, secret passions emerge that will cause storm greater than any of them could have ever imagined. I don't know. Yes, it's implied, but it doesn't say it there in black and white, and like, I don't even care. I can get I actually can't get past the cheating thing. But if I was to put the cheating thing aside, the characters are so unlikable. It's so dark. It's not even like a nice book. You'd think by looking at this cover that it's going to be a cute, happy read, like beach read by Emily Henry, like an Emily Henry kind of vibe. Cutesy little cover. It talks about infertility, alcohol abuse, cheating, violence, all of this horrible stuff, which normally in a book I would enjoy. But when it looks like this, I just can't do it. And it just goes to show actually that when I read Sisters Behaving Badly, the book that we just read for this video, I didn't like the cover of that, but I really enjoyed the book. Whereas this one, if I saw this in the shop, I probably would have picked it up. Maybe not by the description, but I would have definitely seen the cover and wanted to read it. And I didn't like it and I thought it was awful. So it does go to show that the cover does play a big part in whether you want to read a book, but it also means nothing at the same time. So this is my first DNF of 2024 and I feel bad. I was going to force myself to read it. I am, however, going to count it towards my reading goal, and I know that that's very controversial. A lot of people say that if you DNF a book, you shouldn't count it towards your reading goal. But whenever I say, if I've read over 100 pages of the book, I'm counting it. And I've read 121, I'm on chapter 17. So to me, I've read nearly half the book, so I'm going to count it. If I read only 50 pages, I wouldn't count it. But that's just my personal opinion because I still spent a good amount of time trying to get through it. And I know that can be controversial, but I'm not doing it. Never again. We do have one left. We do have one blind date with the book left, and it does actually feel quite similar in thickness. Now I'm terrified that I've picked up two of the same because obviously, as I said, there's no descriptions. So I don't know what's going to happen when I open this, but I'm going to give it a try. Maybe get it started today. Hopefully it's a different book. I think it does feel slightly different, so it should be fine. But I feel bad for DNF in that book, but I just don't want to force myself to read something I don't want to read. That's just the rule. I'm going to be more on it this year of literally just, you know, if I want to DNF something, DNF it. What's the point in wasting my time reading something I don't want to read? So this is our next book, but what is it? I'm going to open it now and we will see. Do you actually think the world hates me? Careering by Daisy Buchanan. What is this book? I don't want to be rude, right? But this, I would have never picked this up in the store simply because it's called Careering. I actually panicked a little bit and thought it was like a non-fiction read or something, which I don't mind. I'm not a hater of non-fiction, but I'm in the mood for, I just want a fluffy romance, guys. Is that too much to ask? Is it too much to ask to have a cute little romance book? Please. But I am gonna read the description and see if we're gonna like it. Okay, so it's 384 pages and it is about, so she works double shifts and her dream is writing for a magazine. She has like an internship, but it's not going anywhere because obviously it's only an internship, so it doesn't pay very well. Okay, Harry might just be Imogen's fairy godmother. She's launching a new feminist site and she thinks that Imogen's most outrageous sexual content will help generate the clicks she needs. Both women have been bitten and betrayed by the industry that they've decided. Both women have been bitten and destroyed by the industry that they've dedicated themselves to. Will Harry wake up to the way she's been exploited before the prodigy What? Will Harry wake up to the way she's been exploited before her prodigy realises that not everything is copy? Am I just not okay in the head, or does that not make any sense to you? I can't cope. Can either women reconcile their love for work with the fact that work will never love them back? I don't know if I can do this. Especially, I'm literally starting a new job next week. So hopefully it will give me the burst of motivation to like do really well in my new job, but I don't know. Alright, this is our next read, guys. I might love it, I don't know. But I do not have high hopes, simply because sounds really bad that I'm just judging this. It's just that I wouldn't have picked this up, and that's the only reason why I'm like a little bit unsure about it. But it could be fine, I don't know. I'm just gonna read it and see. Who else just thinks that ice cold water just hits different? Look at that. I know you will want to drink this right now. So I wanted to give a little update on Careering by Daisy Buchanan. Obviously when I opened it, I think it was 2 days ago that I opened it, and I was really unsure. It looked like non-fiction and I was just like, what is this? I've never seen it, never heard of it, and I really thought it was going to be like a self-help kind of be your own kind of girl boss kind of book. When you're in the mood for that and when you like that, those books can be amazing. Not that I've ever really sat down and read one, but when I saw it was non-fiction, I was like, am I going to like this? Is it going to be too workplace based? I just wasn't 100% sure. I'm currently on page 111, so I've read quite a bit. I started it last night, read the first 50 pages, and I've read another 50 this morning, and it's actually so much better than I thought it was going to be. I wouldn't say that I'm like loving it. I don't really care for it in a sense, but it is still like a good fun read at the moment, I think, as well. And I always put this down in when I'm talking about books, but I love British humour, and this is a British book, so you can just hear in the tone of how it's been written the exact way that I would deliver something, the exact way that I would say a joke with my like London accent or whatever, and it is actually really funny. But this book actually follows two characters. The main girl, Imogen, writes in first person, and then there's a character called Harry who has, or Harriet, and she has third person chapters, which I kind of do find myself zoning out a little bit during Harry's chapters, just because I think third person's just naturally harder to connect to. I think we all agree there. I think I'm okay when it's like the whole book, but when it switches between the two, I find it hard to like adjust between the two. But Imogen's chapters are great as well. She has like an adult kind of blog. She writes about like experiences in the bedroom and stuff like that, and it actually is quite fun to read because it makes it seem like not a taboo subject, and I feel like a lot of people would consider talking about things like that to not be something that they're comfortable with, and it's nice to just see like a positive outlook on it and all the things that go wrong in that stuff. And do you know what, it actually feels like a memoir in a way. Like, it's not, it's fiction, and it is very much a fictional story, but when I'm reading it sometimes it feels like I'm reading it from a real person's perspective. Maybe the author used her own personal experience to write this book, I don't know, I haven't really researched into it, but part of me is thinking like it really feels like it feels like I'm reading a celebrity's memoir right now. I don't know, I quite like it, and considering I was so like, what the f is this? It's quite good. I mean, I'm not getting those 5-star feelings. For now, it's actually quite good. Okay guys, ignore the formal outfit. I'm literally about to go and start my new job. I'm gonna go and start careering. Anyway, that was so bad. I'm really unsure at this point of a rating, and I'm thinking it's probably going to be around the 3.75 mark, because it wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't like the best book I've ever read, but it definitely wasn't bad either, and it was definitely funny at times. Definitely the writing style was good. Like, there was definitely some perks, but then there was also just things that didn't really hook me and things I didn't really enjoy. Nothing was particularly wrong with it. I did find it a little bit cringy at times, obviously because she has like a blog on intimacy. When it's written on paper right in front of you, like, it can get a little bit like ugh, to read, because she was like describing certain things, and I don't know, it was okay. Like, normally that wouldn't bother me, but I did find this one just like a tad bit cringy. But other than that, it actually was a really good book, considering I was so skeptical about it. You obviously saw when I opened the book, I was like, does the world hate me? And that is literally how I felt, because I thought this was going to be like some be your best self, self-help, whatever, which again, normally that wouldn't bother me, but I was just so not in the mood for that. But the actual like banter and stuff like that in this book actually did do really, really well. There's no romance, so in the month of Feb, and for a blind date book video, not my best choice of blind date, but how are we gonna know? That's the whole point. But yeah, it was good. Maybe I think it's just come at a perfect time in my life. I think if I read this, if I wasn't starting a new job, I probably would have hated it. I'm gonna be real, probably would have hated it. But I think that's it for this video. I'm gonna go and start my new job now, and I'm very nervous. Oh, I can't even believe it. Like, oh. I actually vlogged when I got back from my interview in my mood reading vlog, and now I'm starting the new job, so there you go. But if you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. Drop me a comment what your current read is, or if you've read any of the books in this video and what you thought about them. Obviously leave it spoiler free, and I will hopefully see you in my next one. Love you guys lots.